Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside and this week's nursery tour. Okay y'all, we have got gorgeous plants that have come in this week, stunning. So I cannot wait to share them with you because it is go time. I get emails all the time and private messages saying, hey, do you think it would be safe for me to go ahead and plant? Can I plant this? Can I plant that? And I am saying yes, because of course we are planting here at Creekside Nursery. So it is a definite go time. So I want you to move with purpose and pay attention to these gorgeous plants that we have offering to you here at the Garden Center in Dallas, North Carolina, a Zone 8A. Now, also online, last week we did the 50% off of the Coreopsis. We're going to continue the Coreopsis this week also with the 50% off because there was one variety that we forgot to hit launch on. So we have a whole brand new Coreopsis. This is one of the new series from Proven Winners. So we have a new color available for you this week. And also we are going to do the ever beloved Spot On Pulmonaria from Proven Winners. This is a great shade perennial, deer resistant, rabbit resistant, gives you gorgeous blue and pink flowers. In the spring, you are going to love this plant. If you are a shade gardener or have a shady spot, you're going to want Spot On. Now remember, all of the online plants come in quart-size containers. Here at the nursery, yes, we have shrubs available in 3 gallons. Y'all, I love you, but we're not shipping 3-gallon shrubs. They come to you as quart-size containers. So shrubs online, perennials online are all quart size, which is actually very, very perfect because they're super easy to plant. So pay attention on the website. They are 50% off. You don't have to have a coupon code. We've already marked it for you. Just simply shop, add it to your cart, and check out. But yeah, so let's get into the fun things here at the nursery. Of course, we're open on Wednesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 3. If you have an area in your garden that you are looking to revamp, add to, tweak, whatever you want to call it, we would love to help you. So if you come to the nursery, we ask that you bring like pictures of the area, basic measurements. It's 5 feet wide, 10 feet long, just rough estimates, and then kind of know your sun. Really think about your summer sun. What does the sun do in July, right? Does it get, X number of hours in the morning and then it goes in the shade, vice versa? How much sun? Because that plays a huge role in the plants that we select to help you. So we would love to help you plan your landscape. If you have bigger landscape projects that are too big for you to tackle, we would love to help you with that as well. So we have landscape services here, so we would love to talk to you about that as well. It is go time. And this is going to be Jenny in a candy store, so I'm going to try to stay focused, but we had 2 deliveries this past week of stunning shrubs, and I think everything here is brand new. Is that right? Just roughly? Just about everything here on the shrub lot is brand new material. Whether you are looking for evergreens, right? We have the Forever Goldie. I love this. This is the coolest plant, y'all. I have it in the chicken coop gardens, but I'm also going to be using them for my winter containers on the back patio. So Forever Goldie is an arborvitae. It is soft. This is a golden evergreen, very nice and compact. It has done really well, y'all, at the chicken coop. When you talk about terrible soil, red clay, and it is in the full sun and does great. This is going to be about 6 feet tall in 5 years, okay? So it's going to be a nice, compact, not crazy. Then, of course, you have these great cryptomerias. These are evergreens. These are that nice kind of naturally have a round shape. You're not going to have to prune these. These dragon princes are going to be roughly in that like 3 to 4-ish foot range, but just a great, beautiful evergreen. I mean, all of this pairs so nicely together. Last week, I did a video highlighting the deer-proof line of shrubs from Proven Winners. Well, here you go. You've got 2 gorgeous ones here at the nursery. These are the Sunjoy barberries. So you have Sunjoy Neo. Like, look at this color, y'all. Is it not just stunning? Bright, bright red. Yes, they have little tiny thorns. Y'all, you can run your hand over it and it's perfectly fine. And then you've got Sunjoy Citrus, bright chartreuse color. Your barberries need the full sun. So a minimum of 6 hours to give you that gorgeous color. They are deciduous, so just keep that in mind. That's why we pair them with evergreens and give you that gorgeous color contrast. They're going to be a nice size, about 2.5 tall and wide. And you can prune these however you want. They don't flower, so if you can keep them pruned however you want, whenever you want, and it's not going to mess up your blooms because there are none. Gardenias, right? Pillow Talk, she is happy. She's happy in the garden over there. Beautiful fragrance on this. So even here in the end of August, you're going to get flowers. Another great evergreen option for you. Loropetalums. We've talked about spireas before. You know how much I'm a huge fan of the double play doozy. What I'm also a huge fan of is come over here, because these are 2 new additions as far as like having them available here at the nursery. This is Rock Steady Vitex. Now, a Vitex, if you're not familiar, will give you these beautiful lavender flowers for weeks on end in your garden. A huge pollinator attractor. This is Rock Steady, and Rock Steady is different than other Vitexes because it has a longer bloom season. You may have seen a Vitex and not know what it is, but basically it looks like this huge giant butterfly bush, but more like in a tree form. Think like a small crepe myrtle as far as that multi-trunk, really pretty shape to it. These are going to max out at well, they're hardy in zones 5B to 9. So if you're in a zone 5B, it's going to stay more like a shrub in that 4-foot range. If you're down here in the south, it is going to get every bit of 12 feet tall and like 5 feet wide. Again, think small crepe myrtle. I got one of these from our online store as a quart because I didn't know we were getting 3 gallons, and I have been growing it out. Y'all, it is a fast grower. It is stunning. The butterflies come all over it. So you need this in your life. This is a great deciduous shrub, small tree. You're going to love it. Another great fast grower that's going to bring you a lot of fun interest in the end of the season is El Nino. El Nino, you have seen me talk about at the chicken coop garden. Again, a fast grower. It is a type of desert orchid. Now, the flowers are wet because the irrigation turned on, but look at that beautiful rose of flower to it, right? So it's got like that yellow throat, just such a fun, cool, again, a small like accent tree, multi-trunked, and it's going to get some height to it. You can prune it however you want to make it thick. If you want to keep it more like a shrub, you can do that, or you can just let it go. If you have a hot area, terrible soil, this one will do great. Have it at the chicken coop, literally the worst soil on the property. Planted it as a petite 1 gallon just over a year ago, and y'all, it is like 8 feet tall. It is huge. Gorgeous plant. You're gonna love this. Look at these stunning new hydrangeas that came in. You know how much I adore Little Lime Punch. These are some of the biggest flower heads I have ever seen on a Little Lime Punch, right? Great panicle that loves the full sun, so at least 6 hours. Mine are in from sun up to sundown. Y'all, look, they have irrigation, so these are covered in water, but look how tight this is, right? It's like a football. You can absolutely move it. We're even starting to get some little pink hues on the Little Lime Punch. Here in the south, we may not get that bright punch color that you're gonna get in cooler zones unless you're in a higher elevation. If you're in Boone, Blowing Rock, Asheville, something that's higher than we are and gets cooler nights, you're gonna get your really pretty deep red color to it. Mine take on a light blush hue and are beautiful. Whole new selection of Incredible hydrangeas. We've even got them with buds on them. Again, huge fan of Incredibles. These are smooth hydrangeas. Both of these hydrangeas bloom on new growth. That means you can prune them, you can shape them, and you're guaranteed to have flowers every single year. Love the Incredible because it's a nice, tight, upright. It's like an improved version of an Annabelle, which is a classic hydrangea. So great one. Now, some other new things that we have gotten in. Berry Poppins. Berry Poppins is a winter berry. This is a type of holly, but it's a soft holly. It's not pokey at all. And the great thing about Berry Poppins is if you kind of peek down there in the foliage, it is covered in red berries. Now, this is a deciduous shrub, so in the wintertime, It's going to completely defoliate, but it is going to keep those red berries on there. Beautiful, great interest on this plant. 3 to 4 tall and wide. I just planted it in the wetland garden, right? We're getting ready to plant it in the wetland garden because it can handle those moist conditions, and it is very adaptable, hardy in zones 3 to 9. So, I mean, there you go. Now, if you want the berries on berry Poppins, then you're gonna have to also get Mr. Poppins. So the whole purpose of Mr. Poppins is simply to pollinate the ladies, right? So you need to have one of Mr. Poppins. One Mr. Poppins will do 5 winter berries. As long as it's within 50 feet of the female plant, it will pollinate. So you can kind of tuck this in a kind of an inconspicuous area and it will be fine. Still is that 3 to 4. Like, oh, Jerry, look, this one's covered in flowers. So this gives you an idea when the plant is flowering, what it looks like. Little tiny white flowers, that's what's going to turn into those berries. So it kind of gives you an idea of the plant. So I have Mr. Poppins kind of tucked behind a corner so that he can pollinate the ladies. As Cece said, he's just there for stud purposes, but it works. Also, the Arctic Twig Dogwoods. We have had multiple customers come to us and say that they have had great success with this red twig dogwood. Again, you get it for the winter interest. It will completely defoliate. The stems turn a bright red. So the Arctic Fire Red is going to be that gorgeous winter interest during the season, pretty much a lovely green shrub. 3 to 5 tall and wide. I would say for us, you want to give it, you know, a good 5 to 6 hours of sun. Maybe watch it kind of in the afternoon to give it some protection that way, but also it can do moist soil as well. So this is going to be a great one for your winter interest, as is the berry box. Berry box, however, is an evergreen. So unlike the other guys, this is an evergreen that kind of has more of a, I don't know, like a spreading habit on it. It too is going to give you little tiny red berries in the wintertime. This is going to be, the size on this is basically 2 to 3 feet tall, 2 to 3 wide. So this would be a really fun one to add more like in the front of your garden. This would be a great foundation plant because it is evergreen. It's going to take up some real estate because it's going to go wide and it's going to go out. But in the wintertime, it is going to be covered in those red berries. Very cool. I'm excited about this one. This is Kinsley's Ghost. If you remember when we were at Spring Meadow at the display garden, they had a Kinsley's Ghost in the garden. This is a type of honeysuckle, but it's a very unique honeysuckle in the fact of it's got this blue-green foliage on it. So you've got this really cool color difference in the garden as opposed to, you know, traditional honeysuckle. That's a nice dark green. It will do these circular like flowers with a little white flower in the middle. Then those white flowers will turn red and have like little red berries. This is a great, cool interest. I'm going to put it on the fence at the berm, right? So behind some North Poles. So I've got like a blue texture next to a dark green. Really fun, relatively fast grower. You just kind of, you can see that we have them trellised up. You just kind of tuck them in and then they'll wrap around and it's going to be a really neat addition to your garden. Now behind Jerry is brand new this year is Yardline Viburnum. Now if you are looking for an evergreen screen, I guess you could say, then you want Yardline. Look how huge these leaves are, right? They are massive leaves. It is a fast grower. This is a cross that Proven Winners came up with. If you're familiar with a Chindo viburnum, then this has some Chindo in it. So this is going to be a great option for you if you need a fast growing evergreen specimen in your yard. It is going to be hardy in zones 7 to 9. She can get big, 6 to 12 tall, 3 to 4 wide. So very much has that columnar habit on it. Like most viburnums, it's going to need that sun, but it is a evergreen. Really cool option for you if you need some privacy or you just need an evergreen specimen that is a columnar. Definitely have that for you. Let's see. Let's go over to the pines. Can we go over to the pines and talk about, oh, well, first, before, we're just gonna whip it, because right back here, we have all of the ferns that came. So Cece and I can do some damage when we start looking at plant availability list and we find these cool things. So before we talk about the ferns, if you had watched the video when these plants came, we had ordered 2 of these Tokyo towers. Now the Tokyo tower is, let me get it right, is a Chinese French tree. Obviously it is going to be narrow and tall. So at its maximum height can be 15 feet tall, about 3 feet wide. Now this is the coolest thing because you get all sorts of interest all throughout year round. So I don't mess this up, I'm just gonna look at the tag so I can tell you the correct information. First of all, it's hardy in zone 6 to 8. It is a full sun tree. Now, in the spring, you're gonna have white fragrant flowers. Then those flowers will turn to blue fruit in late summer. The foliage will turn yellow in the fall, and then in the wintertime, the bark is exfoliating. So I can actually see it here. Kind of reminds you like a paper bark or a crepe myrtle, where it'll have this really cool exfoliating bark on it. We ordered 2. I've already taken 1. I told you. It was just a matter of time. Now, obviously we can get more if we need to get more, but if you have a narrow space and you want a tree and you want spring interest, you want fall color, this is going to be a great option for y'all. This is what, a 5 gallon, 7 gallon? I don't know. What size is that, Jerry? It's a 5 or a 7 gallon, so it's not a 3 gallon. I mean, it is already every bit of like 6 feet tall, and so it is a gorgeous, cool. I'm putting it in a pot because I have a huge pot over there at the wetland garden. That's where it's going in. So Tokyo Tower, come get it. Now, all my shade people, we have got a plethora of ferns available for you. Really neat interest for your shade garden. So one of my all-time favorite ferns is the Lady in Red. Lady in Red is a beautiful, delicate fern that all your ferns are going to prefer that shady area, right? She loves the moist. It has, it's called Lady in Red because it has red hue on the stems to it. Great, beautiful, delicate fern, delicate looking, right? Because it is very light and airy. When you put this in the shade and give it consistent moisture, y'all, she will get like 2.5 feet tall, I would say about 18 inches wide. Beautiful, nice soft movement in the garden. So you've got that. You cannot go wrong with the autumn ferns. Y'all, I'm sorry, hello, this is gorgeous. Please come get this. If you have shade, whether you have dry shade, you have a little bit of moisture in your shade garden, this is going to be a great one. It is an evergreen. This is the brilliance. When you get new foliage, it has kind of a coppery burgundy color to it, and then it matures into a green. This is the best, hardiest evergreen fern. You've got to have this. Every shade garden should have this plant. If you don't, you are missing out. You want to talk about low maintenance? It is a great one. Arborvitae ferns. Well, let me see. Here we go. All right, arborvitae ferns. This is not really an arborvitae. It is just called that because of its evergreen texture. Arborvitaes turn like a coppery color in the fall. This will turn those copper colors. This is it really doesn't get much taller than this, but it has a low spreading habit on it. Beautiful. I have one in the forest pansy bed. Mimi has them all around a tree. You're going to love it. If you are a shade gardener and you're like, well, I have all those ferns, you know, I want something new, I want something different. Well, let me introduce you to the Jurassic series of ferns. This is called Jurassic Gold. Kind of has like a leathery, really kind of a tough texture to it, but the new fronds turn gold. As they're emerging, a bright, bright gold color on it. This is the neatest plant, y'all. This is gonna be about 24 inches tall and 18 inches wide. Very neat. I personally have another Jurassic, this is the Jurassic series, in the shade garden, and this is neat. So when I saw Jurassic Gold, I grabbed it. Love that. We also have, let's see, over here, ostrich ferns. This is the king, so this is a little bit better for the southern garden. It will get huge, as you know. As the name suggests, it gets really big. If you are looking for a fern to naturalize in your garden and to give you that gorgeous soft look, then the king is the one that you are going to want. Then last but not least, we have a Japanese beach fern. This is what Mama and I have figured out. If you're a longtime follower of Creekside, then you know I would talk about Aunt Vonnie's ferns. Aunt Vonnie is my aunt, and she gave Mama these ferns years and years ago, but really wasn't sure what it was. Well, we have figured out that they're Japanese beach ferns. Great for your shade garden. They can get big, y'all. They can get tall. Not in an invasive. They don't really spread a whole lot, but are stunning, y'all. Pair your shade garden. You want to have ferns. You want to have hostas. You want to have eucharis. You want to have pulmonaria. You want to have all these things. Sorry, I lost one. Stay right there, Jer. I'm coming to you. This is a holly fern, y'all. And let me find a better one that really gives you all the details. Okay, again, another great one. So this is the East India fern. This is going to be an evergreen fern. Look how fun this is. Texture difference. Y'all, you could have just a couple of different species of plants in your shade garden, but there's so many different varieties and cultivars out there, you're gonna get so much interest. So the East India holly fern, evergreen, it has a cool like chartreuse center, then the darker edges on it. This one, India's big, right? It's a big country, so this is going to be a big fern. This can be like a 30 by 30. Can you imagine this, a 30 by 30 in your shade garden? Holy guacamole, it is going to be stunning. So I'm grabbing at least one of everything for my shade garden. We'll see how much restraint Jenny has on that. All right, now let's go into the greenhouse, because we've been kind of slowly taking away you know, the annuals, as far as like the summer annuals, and then replacing them with the perennials, with the shrubs. That would be great to go ahead and start adding it to your garden. So what we have up here are a ton of your different grasses. Now is a great time to add perennial grasses to your garden, because we have enough of the growing season to give them good roots growing. Like, look at desert plains. I mean, y'all, imagine this in your garden right now. How fun would this be to have in your garden? Beautiful little white plumes on it. Desert plains, really nice, a petite grass. It's not going to be too big. You're going to have lots of fun and interest with this plant. Now, if you want something big, here we have Niagara Falls, right? I have Niagara Falls in the berm. This gets to be about a 4 by 4, very upright. You can see these light, airy plumes, completely different than desert plains. Mix these babies together and you have got it. Now, okay, over here, what we did is we started kind of bringing in some of these shrubs and perennials to kind of give you ideas. If you are looking for camellias, we have got a slew of camellias for you. Whether you want sasanquas, japonicas, they bloom at different times, we have them. One of my all-time favorite perennials, Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. This is an evergreen perennial. I personally love the way it smells. It has kind of a very earthy smell to it. Gorgeous, nice, beautiful color on it, right? It'll branch out, it'll get some height to it. This works great in a container or the landscape. Alyssiums, for my shade people looking for deer resistant shrubs, alyssiums are going to be a great option for you. They are evergreen. The yews, whether you want an upright yew or a spreading yew. Another alyssium, this is one of our all-time favorites, the Florida Sunshine, right? Gorgeous pop of color. So this whole area right here would be more in that shade garden. Morning sun, filtered sun, shade. We've got a whole new slew of Feather Falls grass. This is a Carex, evergreen. And then of course, this is one of the best eucharis on the market, especially for the South. It is aptly named Southern Comfort. This is such a great euchre, y'all, and it's huge. It keeps these burgundy green, even has like some purple in it, like on the flip side. Look, so on this side of the leaf, it's a nice purple size color, and then you flip it over, whoop, and it's green. So you get a lot of interest within this plant. It does great in containers. I have Southern Comfort in multiple containers, and they do really, really well. Now, this is such a fun little area back here, because if you are familiar with these nursery tours, you know that I have been asking y'all for a couple of weeks to come buy hostas because we have a ton of hostas. And Jerry, we have this kind of running joke between us that I buy too many hostas and he thinks we have too many hostas. Well, I ordered more. So there you go. If you are looking for some really cute, fun mini hostas, we have got a great selection. A lot of these are part of the kind of the mouse series. So you have School Mouse, you have Minnie Mouse, you have Sun Mouse that has that nice chartreuse color, Mighty Mouse, there's Pandora's Box, there's Mini Skirt. These are all meant to be little tiny miniature hostas. Look how stinking cute these are, y'all. You can put these in little containers. You can put them in the landscape, obviously. You're gonna put them, if you put them in the landscape, you're gonna put it somewhere up close that you can see them really close, but they do great in containers. You could get a unique stone piece, put them in there. I have a whole strawberry planter, nothing but mini hostas. Love these. These are so unique and sweet and delicate. Yeah, so come grab those. We also have Blue Zinger. So Blue Zinger is a Carex. When Mimi came down to look at the deliveries, this was one that she was like, what is that? So Blue Zinger is a Carex. It means it's going to be another evergreen grass for you that goes in your predominantly shade garden. It can do filtered sun, it could do morning sun, but it's one of the best blue Carexes out there on the market. So lots of fun interest for your shade gardens. We are taking care of you. I don't know where I got this from. We'll just tuck it in right here with the other ones. There you go. Let's see, what else, Jerry? What am I missing out there in the shade garden? I know there's probably a ton of things out here. This is the time of year, y'all, where you walk through the gardens and you're like doing your invisible karate with the spider webs. Oh, cast iron plants. So if you have a dry shade garden and you are looking for a fun evergreen interest in your garden, you need to get some aspidistra. Aspidistra is that cast iron plant, and there are tons and tons and tons of different kind of varieties, cultivars out there. This is one, we have two here, but this is one that came in this past week. This is, and I'm probably gonna butcher it, I don't know, a Kinbono. So Kinbono is gonna be neat because it has that kind of that chartreuse light strip going right down the center. This is gonna be about 2 feet tall and hardy up to zones, yeah. So 2 feet tall, 2 to 3 wide, dry shade, y'all. It thrives on neglect and it is evergreen. Slowly spreads. Your mound will slowly get bigger. Cast iron plants are historically kind of slow growers, but a really fun interest in your shade garden for evergreen interest. Y'all, camellias, hostas, hydrangeas. It is definitely go time here. So you can come, you can shop. The hostas here are still buy one, get one free. The little minis are gonna be excluded from that sale because we have a very limited supply. We just brought those in. So those are excluded, but all of your 1 gallon hostas are still buy one, get one free. So you can come and shop. Now, for those of you, a little side note right quick, Jerry, let's just keep on backing up. So the past couple of times we've been in the pines, we've talked about how we have something coming in and digging up in the garden. Y'all, the spider webs, whew, they are prolific today. So if you can see right here, we have something that's been digging all through the garden here in the pines. And our fear was that we had armadillos, because armadillos have been confirmed here in Gaston County. I don't want armadillos. They're destructive, they're pests, they're horrible. I do not want armadillos. So we were concerned that possibly had armadillos. So Jackson set up the trail cam, and I am happy to report that it is not armadillos, it is raccoons. So we got him on camera. We probably think there's probably like a little family of them. If you grew up or are familiar with Little House on the Prairie, remember the episode with Jasper? So now we call him Jasper. Jasper the raccoon was caught on camera coming in and digging. Jasper looks like he's very healthy, so I'm sure that he has a family with him. So happy to report it is just a raccoon digging for grubs. It is not armadillos. Praise the Lord, I can handle raccoons all day long. I just do not want armadillos here in the gardens, but it is definitely go time. Come make your plant. We would love to help you in any way that we possibly can. This is a beautiful, best time to plant in the southeast. We don't want to be planting a ton of like brand new landscapes in the heat of the summer. It is too stressful on the plants. It is too stressful on you, the gardener. This is the best time because those roots can get developed all winter long, and they are basically hands off, and you have gorgeous, strong root systems when the heat of the summer hits next year. So great time to come out and plant landscapes, perennials, shrubs, trees. We would love to help you Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 3. As always, we so appreciate you. Y'all have an amazing day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.